You were left off page 186, next to the bottom paragraph. We're seeing about seeing the wisdom of Hashem in a human being. We're in the middle of the previous paragraph. We're speaking out the physical makeup of a human being, his parts, and the function of each part of the body. Hatzorach hamevi lasoso al tzelem asher hu bo. And then the necessity that he was made in the form that he was made. And what is his purpose? You know, even though you have a monkey, a chimpanzee, which resembles a human being in many ways. But what is the function? What is the purpose of a human being, and what's the limitation of the ape? Right? It's amazing what a human being is, what his capability is, what his purpose is, his value is. Every attribute, every characteristic that he possesses, he says the faculties of the soul, or sichlo, and his intelligence, the illumination of his intelligence, what have relevance to his essence, and which come accidentally, but taivos of his desires, v'tachlis inyono, and his ultimate purpose. It's interesting, primitive man became primitive. Initially, he wasn't primitive, right? I mean, in the jungle, what was the human being? Right? He was a hunter. Right? That's what he was. That was primitive man. He was a hunter. So you'd say, well, he hunted with a certain degree of expertise, with an acumen, with all that. So in what context did he employ his intelligence? How to hunt, how to survive. The animal outdoes him endless times over. As a hunter, you can't compare a human being to a predator animal, to a lion, to a tiger, to a cheetah, to any of these animals. Could you compare it as a hunter? And the way it survives and it fends for itself in the wild, can't compare the two. So what is to'alosov? His ability. We're not talking about just fending for yourself, survival. We're not talking about it in that context. We're talking about a higher level. His function, because originally God created man with a different level of purpose. It's interesting. Everything's so backwards. Why do people work? What do you work? To survive. Why do you work more than you have to work? Because you want to have comforts. You want to satisfy your desires. Okay? We're speaking about a person who's altruistic. You want to do chesed. You want to help others who don't have. But the vast majority of humanity, where the emphasis and the focus and the vast majority of their effort is invested in what? Themselves. Correct? Does that make sense? I mean, the animal's in a better situation than the human being. No? If you'd have less needs, or things will come naturally, instinctively to you. No worries, nothing. None of these issues. You're in a better position. The few who have an understanding of what life's about, it's not only yourself, it's humanity, it's to provide for others, okay? So you need a greater degree of understanding for that. That's purpose. To be a refined person. Refined means in the true sense. developing character, developing innate quality of the person. But especially today more than ever, that's not what it's about. You know, did you get the new model of the iPhone? I can't afford it. No, forget a bonus. I'll have that plus something else. I'll upgrade, you know, my computer system and everything else, and the sound system, the car, and the residence, and the trip, and the this and the that. Everything will be upgraded. So what is it all about? Does it make sense? To be continued.